Hi, how's everyone? I hope I find you all well. Thank you for returning, and hello if you are new. We are continuing with the signs in order, and Aries, you are next. You are up. So let's talk about what's going on in Aries. Let's go over to the chart real quick and look at what's in Aries. Well, I know that Chiron is still there and he'll be there for I think another 18 months. Okay, so Chiron, briefly, because I love to talk about the mythology of the different planets and stuff, so I'll try to be brief. um Chiron, well, let's do zodiac first. In astrology, Chiron is where we have a wounding that we cannot heal. There was I forget how long he spends in each sign, but every generation there is a grouping of us that have Chiron in Aries, and that is a wounding to self-esteem, self-worth, and how you view your value. Okay. There was a grouping in the 90s, there was a grouping that I'm part of in the 70s, and now there's going to be a group born right now that have Chiron and Aries. So let's talk about it. In mythology, Chiron was a centaur, but he wasn't born of the race of centaurs. He was one of the immortals' children. I believe he was the son of Cronus, and Cronus was a titan. He was one of the primordial gods. He is the god of time, and the Roman equivalent to that is Saturn. So he is a product of Saturn and an ocean nymph, one of the Oceanids. Their father was Oceanus. And he was not Neptune. He was not Neptune. Neptune is the god of salt water and the oceans, but Oceanus was the god of the earth encircling river or waters. So um, Cronus and the nymph were caught in mid coitus, and Cronus turned himself into a horse. And then, kind of like it spooked him, so he took off as the horse, but not before the deed was done. And the nymph gave birth to a half man, half horse, and it was Chiron. He, interestingly, what distinguished him, besides not being born of the race of centaurs, was that his forelegs were human. So he was a human torso and legs, and then he had a horse body attached. Now, when he was born, his mother freaked out and abandoned him. That was the first of his woundings. Later on, he was fostered by the twin gods Apollo and Artemis, which represent the sun and the moon. And he was taught archery and medicine and music and philosophy. He was taught astrology, prophecy, and medicine. Did I say medicine? Yeah, he was a healer. He became one of the mentors of the gods' bastard kids, which became the heroes of Greek mythology. So he trained Achilles and Jason and Perseus and Theseus, all the Yusses, and Atlas, Ajax. He was a mentor to all of those gods. So the second wounding that he incurred was Heracles came to call on him, and while they were chit chatting, the true centaurs, a group of true centaurs, came and wanted some of their sacred wine. As true to form, what happens when the horny frat boys show up? A fight ensued, and in the fight, accidentally, Heracles wounded Chiron with an arrow that had been dipped in Hydra blood. Because the wound was magic, it could not heal. But because Chiron was half Titan, he was immortal and would never die. So um, he was basically sentenced to eternal suffering. That was the second wounding. Um, in order to release his friend from his suffering, Heracles bargained with Zeus that Chiron would take the place of Prometheus, who was the Titan who gave fire to humans and was punished eternally for it. He was chained to a rock, and an eagle ate his liver only for it to regenerate, and that was his eternal suffering. When Chiron saw the suffering of someone else, he was moved and agreed to the sacrifice. His sacrifice then was the magic that released them both. So, the key to Chiron in our charts is where we find healing by healing others, but it's never fully healed within ourselves. It's a very important, yet not really talked about. I think it's important. Not all astrologers will give Chiron that much importance. They mainly say it's like a background energy. Excuse me. But it's where we're wounded and we can't heal ourselves. Right now, Chiron is in you, Aries, and that causes a wounding to self esteem, self worth, and value, how we see ourselves. Um, it also has a little to do with vitality and health, because Aries being the first sign, it has a lot to do with the root chakra, our stability, um, our health, our blood. Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is the very passionate, fiery sign of um, vigor. Okay, so there could be a detriment to our health right now. Not only that, but at the moment, Chiron is in direct opposition to Lilith in your opposite sign of Libra. Lilith is the empowered feminine, whereas she in mythology is Adam's first wife. And when she would not submit because they were together created as equals, um, Adam chose to ask God for a new mate. And that's when Eve was created. But Eve was created from Adam and not from the divine spark. So she is not an equal. She was made to be submissive. That is coming out very much in the collective as feminine energy trying to regain their power, their independence, their autonomy. That's all Lilith energy. Um, with Lilith being in Libra, there is a moment of trying to find balance and peace within that energy. So that is in direct opposition to Chiron in Aries. So Chiron is a wounding to our inner self-worth, and it's pulling in opposition to Lilith in Libra. Um, Also, your ruling planet Mars is in retrograde right now, and everybody is feeling that. There is a diminishment of power here. There is a pullback on our feeling of being able to get things done, being able to put energy into things, seeing the results of our labors. I had recently been describing Mars, the god of war, on the shores. It's retrograde in Cancer right now, so Cancer rules the shoreline and the tide pools, anywhere that is affected by the moon cycles. Okay, any open water that's affected by the moon cycles. So right now, I have this image in my head of the god of war tied up on the shore of Cancer, being sung to by the sirens of the deep. Hey, ma'am. Excuse me. She's being unruly. Hang on a second. Okay. I paused at I can't even read that. Sorry. I don't know when I paused. Okay, where were we? Mars retrograde. So, yeah, he's he's being sung to by the sirens in Cancer right now. So his energy is a little tied up. The funny thing about it is the image that they were showing me is Mars doesn't really mind it so much. He thinks it's a kinky game that he's being subdued and he's being kept from movement. But while Mars, your ruler, is lulled into this kind of in between sleep in Cancer. That in between state of sleep, when we enter it, um, is where a lot of us can receive downloads. So I feel like that warrior energy, even though it's being subdued right now, it's receiving some very intimate downloads about caring for people, because Cancer is the sign of the mother, and the mother is nurturing and giving and loving. It's a kind of, to me, a lower vibration of the Empress, whereas the Empress is already in her abundance. Cancer is still growing her abundance and the people around her in her care. She also rules deep emotion, sensitivity, and intuition. So to me, Mars energy right now in its retrograde is receiving a lot of downloads, particularly about how other people are being treated, about Cancer energy is the mother, and even though she is nurturing and loving and soft and receptive, have you ever um have you ever run into a mother who has to protect her child? She becomes a warrior, right? So this is downloads about how we're treating people in our care. And Mars is going to be very much affected by this once he goes direct. Once Mars energy comes out of the stupor that it's in, it your ruler is going to be on a rampage, and that's going to happen within the next couple weeks. Mars is only retrograde, I think, until the 18th, maybe. What sign are we? We're in Aquarius. So, yeah, about 5 days after we go into Pisces, that's when Mars goes direct. So, there's going to be a burst of energy once he goes direct. And he's going to go, I feel like he's going to go to war over how we've been treating other people, especially the ones that are vulnerable. Okay. Anything else? Let me check this chart again, see if there's anything else. We did Chiron opposing Lilith. We did your ruler in Cancer. Oh, you also have Mercury in your sign right now. Direct, thank goodness. So there is a wonderful energy of being able to communicate your needs, which is great, because with Chiron there, we're not really feeling for ourselves, but with Mercury there, we're going to be able to put that into communication, into words, even if it's just communicating within ourselves. Okay, we're going to be able to come to some real truth about what we need, what our health needs, what we need psychologically and emotionally, in order to try to um, release ourselves from that feeling of injured self-worth. Um, that is going, especially for those of us with that in our chart, that is lifetime work. Okay, so luckily right now this is just a transit for some. The ones that are born with it right now are going to be facing this until they're a little bit older, but for the transits right now, we're facing a detriment in our feelings of self-worth. So let's get to the tarot. I hope that wasn't too wordy. You know me, I like to explain the mythology behind things, because I feel like those stories really lend symbolism to what the planets represent in our charts. So let's go to the reading. Remember, not all messages will resonate for every one of you. So leave what doesn't resonate now, but please keep it in mind, because it might make sense at a later time. You are all at different points in the timeline. Like I say, I can read the script, but I can't tell you which character you all individually play, nor where you choose to stand on the stage, whether you are involved or an observer here. I can only read the energies. So let me grab my coffee real quick and I'll be right back. You're going to hear some noise, sorry. Ah, nice creamy coffee. Okay, so we're using the First Light Tarot, the Rider-Waite Tarot Familiars, and the Celtic Lenormand. Three positions for each. First row we have here, so first I drew the oracle cards. We've got power, the Empress, and energy. Then I drew message cards. For power, it came out as a wild card. So this is wild card energy here of this column. For the Empress, I drew for drew for the future. And for energy, I drew as the outcome. So let's talk about this. Wildcard energy first, we've got power. This is understanding reality, being centered in our power. When I dealt this, I was wondering if the strength card was going to come out, and it does in the underneath here, the bottoms of the decks. Somewhere there was strength in reverse, in fact. Oh, yeah, it dealt right on top. Okay, we'll get to that. This is power, knowing your power and your place. And that's why I wondered if strength was going to come out. Because strength is, to me, balancing your power and peace. Okay? This is understanding reality. There's also an element of solitude here. This is inner coming to yourself moment. Instead of a coming to Jesus moment, it's a coming to yourself moment. And in that moment where you actualize within yourself, you recognize your power. Unfortunately, on top of that, we do have a couple things in reverse. Here we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. And in the upright, this is defense position. The Seven of Wands comes after the Six of Wands. So where there was a victory, now we're in an energy of defending that victory, defending our recognition, defending the rewards that we receive, defending the things that we worked hard for. In the reverse, it feels like we're a little off-footed. We're we're not on the high ground anymore. We're in an energy of feeling overwhelmed or inadequate and criticized here. And that's what we're dealing with that Chiron in Aries. On top of that, strength came out, but in reverse. Now, again, like I said, strength, the strength card is represented by the lion of the ego, that's Leo, and the Empress, which we have the Empress here. She has made an appearance. So the Empress, which represents the abundance and self-actualization, there's also a feeling of control, self-control here with the Empress, power and peace. Power being the lion of the ego, wrestling with that ego, and wrestling with it using serenity and growth and compassion, all those feminine aspects. It's a balance between the two. I always get the image of her trying to wrestle something out of the lion's mouth, which represents the divine trying to get us to drop something that is not good for us. And all the ego can think is, but I want it. I want it. It's mine. It's in my mouth. I'm going to eat it. It's mine. And the Empress is like, give me that. Give me that. It's poison. It's going to hurt you. It's not for you. Put that down. You're not supposed to have that in your mouth right now. And the balance between that, the balance between your power and being peaceful is when strength is recognized, is when strength is activated. Okay? The key to that card is find peace in your power and power in your peace. In this case, all of that is in reverse. So we are definitely feeling diminished, criticized here with the Seven of Wands in reverse, off-footed, overwhelmed, and in our strength being diminished. And this can be as a result of that Mars retrograde energy. It is strength, it is power, it is vitality, it's passion, it's endurance, it's ambition, and all of that right now is in reverse on top of power. So being on top of the wild card position, I think this energy has taken a lot of people off guard. Is that the phrase? It's taking you off guard? Yeah. The good thing is, please remember this is very temporary. We're coming to the end of Mars retrograde, okay? We are still going to be dealing with Chiron and Aries for a while, but this is something that we can triumph over, all right? The next column here, in the future, we have the Empress energy, development. This is something that is growing. This is something abundant that we're going towards. Again, productivity. What's interesting here is it's interesting that in this column the wild card is power, but the clarifiers were that our power is upside down right now. Here in the future we have the Empress, which is development, but the cards that clarify it are upside down. They're in reverse. We have Temperance in reverse and Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Temperance represents trying to find a combination of something, combining things that you maybe didn't think of before. Temperance is represented by Sagittarius. Sagittarius, again, Centaur energy, Chiron energy. Chiron was a magician, he was a doctor. He was trained in medicine and prophecy and music. Okay, all the wonderful aesthetics. Definitely Sagittarius energy. Temperance represents the alchemist, also Sagittarius energy, the magician. Where the old fashioned in chemistry, they were like, how did you discover things back in the day? People were like, well, I've got this metal and I've got this liquid and I've got a petri dish. Let's set this bitch on fire and see what happens. That's the energy of temperance. Let's try this. Let's recombine. Let's put in a different ingredient and you swish them back and forth, and a little bit of inspiration from the divine and see what we can get. Unfortunately, we've got temperance in reverse here, which means that there is not a good solution to be found right now. We're feeling very turbulent and very impatient with the energy of this Empress card, which is development, growth, and productivity. Again, that power is in reverse. So there's impatience here because things that we're putting effort into are not coming to fruition. That Empress energy, development and growth, and all of the things that we're trying are not coming to fruition. There's something, I heard there's something in the mix. On top of that, we've got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Seven of Pentacles coming after the Six of Pentacles of sharing, okay? The Seven of Pentacles is the idea of pruning and culling and tending to things that we are investing in, because they are in a energy of growth at the time. Think of a garden It's not quite harvest time, but you're going through your garden. You're checking on how things are growing. You're checking soil quality. You're checking that there's no bugs eating at it. You're checking that the squirrels aren't digging it up. This is checking on your progress here. And here it is in reverse. So there's a holdup in how what we are invested in or what we have put effort into. There's a holdup in its production. There's a holdup in productivity and development here. And we're getting very impatient because we can't find the right combination to undo it, to fix it, to heal it, um, to fertilize it. That's very frustrating. And I get it. The outcome card here, we've got energy. This is wonderful. And there's a lot of pentacles at play here. This might have to do with finances or the economy or paying bills, career, job, things like that. That's very earth energy. Energy here, we've got, how do I read? I'm trying to read this. Everything is connected to source. So again, the feeling of things outside of our control. But this is letting it flow, raising your vibration and having enthusiasm for something that you may not have control over. Okay. On top of that, we've got the Queen of Pentacles upright. Thank goodness. Queen of Pentacles upright. Capricorn energy. Or any of the earth signs, but I give the king and queen to the older of the signs. So this would be, to me, Capricorn energy. You may have Capricorn in your chart. You may be dealing with someone who is a Capricorn or has Capricorn placements. This is the energy of coming to, of industriousness, being practical, responsible, and I can't read that. Industrious, practical, and responsible. So it feels like, but then again, on top of that, you've got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And the Eight of Pentacles is putting effort into work, and it's in reverse. So it feels like, it's like almost a very hopeless kind of feeling here with these reversals. It's like no matter what kind of effort we're putting into our work, nothing is, well, it feels like nothing is coming to fruition. And we're getting frustrated and impatient with that. But like I said, again, I'll reiterate, Mars retrograde is going to be coming to an end soon. So this is why we're in that kind of, they said, I heard the word achy. We're achy about this, you know? Oh, I heard, especially with this column here, energy, Queen of Pentacles, and Eight of Pentacles in reverse. This, they're telling me, is if you just hold on until the energy is right, you won't have to put so much effort into this. The reason that we're pushing against, it's like pushing, like, you know, the myth of Sisyphus, where he's pushing the rock uphill and it just rolls back down, and then he's got to push it again, and he's caught in that cycle forever. This feels like Sisyphus, where we're trying to push that fucking rock and roll that boulder uphill in order to get our shit done, and it just keeps coming back down. They're saying that that energy is temporary. So take a rest, take a break, do some planning, do some inner work, chill for a minute while the energies go direct. Here on energy, remember, we're being told that all energy is from source. So flow with it, even if they're saying flow with it, even if there's no flow. because you've got the Queen of Pentacles on top. Capricorn energy, you're industrious, you're practical, you're responsible. Those things will pan out, okay, once the energy goes direct. And on top of that, with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, it's not that there's not going to be work. It's that it's not going to be such hard work once the energy is flowing in your favor. Okay? And again, hold tight. I know, Aries, you're not very known for your patience. You are the opposite sign to Libra. We're not known for our patience. I get that. Do we want to do the bottoms or the what? Okay, we'll do the bottoms of the deck. Bottoms of the deck, Tower energy, Hierophant, and Conspiracy. So Tower energy means that something is being deconstructed that we put a lot of work into, but it has to be deconstructed because something in its structure is faulty. Okay, but that doesn't mean that its demise is not going to hurt. The key with the Tower card, along with Death, is that even though they are intimidating, both of them come through to liberate you from something that has been keeping your energy or your power at bay. All right. So even though the Tower is coming through, it's coming through for our own good. And once we are released from whatever we were captive in that Tower. That's the whole, that's the whole fairy tale, when you're captive in that tower and it's now being brought down for your own freedom. That doesn't mean there's not going to be wreckage. It doesn't mean you might not be hurt in the fall, but once you're out of it, you're free. Okay, underneath that Hierophant energy, that's Taurus. Not sure what's going on with Taurus right now. I'm not going to check. I don't really think there's anything going on in Taurus. I think it's pretty quiet. Oh, wait. Uranus is in Taurus. Okay. Uranus is upheaval. He's the rebel. He rules Aquarius. He's the innovator. He's the wrecking ball. He comes through with grand ideas and different ways of thinking, different ways of living, different ways of approach, especially in the area of the humanities, okay, because Aquarius rules humanitarian pursuits and high-minded thinking. Here we have Uranus in Taurus, and Taurus is the sign of tradition. Taurus is the sign of, I do it this way because this is the way I've been taught to do it, and we've been taught to do it this way because this is the way it works. And if it's not working, it's something in my detriment, not the system. Unfortunately, sometimes that system has to be brought down, Tower energy. The Hierophant also rules dogma, like religious dogma, and that may be the structure that is needing to come down. Oh, the card also says mentoring and training. And remember what we were talking about Chiron being the mentor of the heroes. So there could be references to that. Chiron and Aries coming down with the Tower. Underneath that, we had Conspiracy. Conspiracy card means that there is something that we are functioning on that was a lie, and the truth is going to come out. We're functioning on misinformation, and that misinformation is going to be brought to light. Excuse me. It says hidden truths will be revealed, but what you hide may eat at you. Okay, so come to the self moment instead of come to Jesus. It's coming to your own self with truth. Underneath that, we've got Scorpio energy with death. That's just change. Remember, I was talking about how death and the Tower are liberators, but even though they may be scary. In the Rider-Waite, we have the Five of Wands. That's conflict. Okay, there's conflicting energies here. It may even be inner conflict because it is on top of the moon. We've got inner conflict on the moon, and underneath of that, we've got the Empress again, this time in the upright. Oh, she was upright here too. So, yeah. Okay, so there may be inner conflict, there may be arguing with people around you, there's rivalry, there's strife. Yeah, shit's wild right now. And in the collective, there's a lot of conflict going on right now. Absolutely. Underneath that, we've got the moon. What are we being self deceptive about? What is underneath the ego that we need to address? Underneath the moon, we've got the Empress. It's how we develop, what we nurture. Do we nurture ourselves for good or for the detriment of other people? This is devotion and blessings and loving care. It's productivity and creativity. As soon as we address what that moon is hiding, what our shadow is hiding, what we don't want to face, we will be able to move into an energy of productivity. Underneath that, Three of Cups celebration. Celebrating with friends, um, connecting with others. This is the social events and relationships, prosperous relationships. Underneath that, we've got the Four of Wands. This is the beginnings of new stability with other people. This is a love situation, so I feel like some in the collective, once we get out of this energy and we're able to address the things in the shadows that are keeping us from being abundant and protective, we'll be able to make stronger connections and stronger foundations after this. That's really, really encouraging, because I know there are some people who are even putting a pause on entering into relationships. They're pausing their plans for getting married, starting families, because the politics and the economy right now is so backwards. It's not promotion. It's not promoting a feeling of stability enough for growth. And so right now we're dealing with the idea of maybe having to postpone some things. And that's what we're coming to right now. And that is causing conflict, definitely. Um, I do like the Three of Cups. It comes after the Two of Cups of a connection. It's like the honeymoon phase. So we're coming close to being able to enter into an energy of actually celebrating, coming together, and being abundant with others. For the Tarot Familiars, bottom of the deck, we've got the Sun. This is ego energy, Leo energy. This is clarity. This is shining light on things that need to be addressed. This is bringing things to the surface, but it also is the ego. Um, in this case, it's shining a healthy ego. Okay, we did have strength in play. Once we can balance our power and our peace, our ego will be in a more positive position. Okay, underneath that, Nine of Pentacles in reverse. The Nine of Pentacles represents the baby Empress. We do have Empress energy in play. That is, she's Venus ruling Taurus and Libra. Um, Taurus and Libra, yeah, aesthetic and balance and peace and happiness, love, beauty, things that make you comfortable, things that balance things out. Um, Libra is a peacekeeper. She weighs karma in her scales of justice. So this is bringing things to justice. With the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, we are feeling a little bit, not a little unabundant. I heard unabundant. This is kind of depending on others a little bit at this time, and that's fine. That is fine. This is we had the Three of Cups, which is community and celebrating together. Now we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, which means that individual abundance is reduced right now. And it's also the idea of pulling together and um, working with others for your abundance and theirs. Okay. Underneath that, look at that. We've got a beautiful Six of Cups. Six of Cups is nostalgia. It's a relationship that is pure and sincere. There's no motive here, there's no agenda here. This is simply remembering a time when there was a connection that wasn't using each other. It was just for your own love of being with each other, okay? This could be something from the past, a connection from the past. Underneath that, oh, the moon reversed. So something being hidden. I think we're hiding from ourselves the idea of, if a connection does come back from the past, it will be abundant to work together. We did get something like that in the Aquarius reading the other day. Was it Aquarius? It was the most recent the most recent reading. Somebody wasn't ready to get into a connection, but the Wheel of Fortune was saying that the timing was right. And if they could just get their heads out of their asses and Voltron up, then they can create the abundance together. And that's what I feel. Um, Even in this very unstable time right now, with politics and the economy and personal relationships being tested because there's a divide between us as a collective, we will be able to form new bonds and come around to people that maybe had fallen away from us in the past. And if we can work together with new people, remember, temperance energy is here, new combinations, new solutions. Even though it's in reverse right now, the energy may be separating people and not being able to come together to find those solutions. Okay. But we do have the energy coming up. Hold tight. It's not for very much longer, but prepare, because once that energy goes direct, once Mars goes direct, um, be ready, because it's like the energy is going to hear the shotgun for it to take off running. So you don't want to be caught unawares. You don't want to be caught unprepared. Okay. The bow, the I also drew three from the Celtic Lenormand, and I asked what energies are in play that we can draw strength from. Thinking of like the ground and a tree, we draw nutrients from the roots. So I asked, what is the root energy here that we can actually draw strength from? And we have bear energy. Remember what I was talking about on Cancer? Um, being a protective motherly energy. This is protective feminine energy here with the bear. It is strength and protection, courage, resourcefulness, pur- purposefulness. No, preparedness, my goodness, and prosperity. Next to that, we've got fox energy, and this is being very clever, being working on instinct, working on skill, and being shrewd and sly. The interesting thing here is these two often do come out together, which I find very, um, um, I was going to say strange, but not strange if you think about it. Here in the fox card, he's looking at this fish, and the fish is going upriver. It's a salmon. It's going upriver to its spawning grounds, but he's watching it go by. Okay, but here in the bear card, the bear has it in its mouth. It didn't get past the bear. So this is energy of not watching things go by, but being very selective about what you decide to catch in your mouth. Okay. Next to that, we've got the cat. Three animals. I thought that was really interesting the way the cards fell. The cat energy is somebody who loves companionship, but is also very, very secure in their own freedom. It's somebody who's curious and yet cautious. This is a great balanced energy that's coming forward. Perhaps this is you, perhaps this is someone in your energy. This is somebody who is independent and cooperative, intelligent and shrewd, wise and observant, careful and perceptive. Okay, that's all cat energy. The interesting thing is with cat energy also comes, for me, not in the deck specifically, but cat energy, especially in this card, is an offer of a side quest. I don't know if that makes sense, but the way it's laying, the way it's sitting, it reminds me of every game where you're on a mission and you come across this, weird looking animal, and the animal's like, I can give you something that will help you, but you've got to do this side quest first. So there may be a distraction, but it's going to end in a reward that's going to give you a level up later. Okay, cat energy, remember that side quest. There could be something that you're missing, or you might walk past and not want to acknowledge, but following that path, even shortly, will give you something that will level you up and that you can use in the future. Okay, we're going to go to the ancestor oracle messages now. I hope this is resonating. I hope the messages are reaching you for your highest good. If you are vibing with my content, please take a moment to leave a thumbs up. Share my video, subscribe. It helps the algorithm get my content seen. In the description, you'll find my email and donation links. I am available for personal readings and birth chart inquiries. And for any small donation, I would love to do a 3-card thank you spread for you personally, either by email, by video chat, or a link like this, a YouTube video where only you get the link, okay? My email, Venmo, and Cash App are in the description. I appreciate any and all feedback, signal boost, or donation. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. So the 2 cards we got from the Angel and Ancestor Oracle messages, we've got the Stag energy, trust and thrive, and we've got the Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. Let me turn down the brightness just briefly so we can see the cards in their colors. Okay, Stag energy. Back here in the animals. Where are you? There we go. Trust and thrive. It says, come alive and thrive. Stand in your light and glory with grace and majesty. It says you have an opportunity to thrive here. Trust in all that you have to offer. What was I talking about with Chiron and Aries? We are really dealing with the idea of self-worth and what we have to offer others. Trust in all that you have to offer, all of your gifts, your strength, and your power, and make the most of it. You were born to lead. Wow, Aries, you were born to lead. And this can only become reality when you are willing to put yourself in that position. Stag energy allows you to feel safe because the antlers keep away everything that could interfere with your intelligence and presence. And that strength gives you the power to be agile in your thinking. You're being encouraged to retain your dignity and be proud of who you are and all that you have accomplished. This, in turn, will give you even more power to thrive onwards and upwards, Aries. Here again, we've got the Magic Guardian. Unlock the magic within. It says stop looking outside of yourself and recognize that you have incredible power within. It says you are the magic. You are the answer, and you have it all within yourself. Remember, I was talking about that moon energy that's going within and dealing with what's in the shadow. And once you clear out the negativity that's in the shadow, you will find out that you have the answers and you have everything within you that you need. If you've been searching for an answer for a reason to focus, recognize that all that you are looking for is already within you. You are a powerful and magical person with the capacity to direct your own intentions and will your desire into being. This is a wonderful message for you, Aries, because your energy is all about creating your own reality. But your power can only, excuse me, your power can only be powerful when you own it. So take this time to acknowledge it. Your ability to dedicate yourself to a goal and make it happen is a real gift that you are being guided to recognize now. That's so good. Is that's so encouraging after the energy that we've been going through here in this reading about things being in retrograde and not being able to find a good solution to things that we put effort into going into tower energy. It's all very discouraging sometimes. But like I said, the cards are saying the tower has to come down because something in it wasn't working, and it's going to liberate us. And within, if we look within, we have the power we need to get through it and thrive on the other side. So let's get some final messages here for Aries energy from the theme deck, please. Little insights, little advice. Maybe that's too many. How can the collective in their Aries energy be better served by the messages? Yep, tree energy. I felt it. Okay. Again, a male family member coming through. Your passed on family members are around you. That means a lot, especially, well, on a personal note, my own father passed on 2 years ago, right this week. So the feeling that there's a male family member coming through in the energy 3 times in a row is very peaceful. Thanks, Pop. Female family member. Okay, somebody's passed on family. I mean, they're everywhere. Okay, 999. I like that. Okay. And, oh, we've got 2 archangels in play. 2 archangels. Love it. Oh, no, that's too many. Just 1 or 2 more, please. Okay. Make it weird. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Unprotection. I'll take that one. All right. Let's see. Go through here. Well, the 2 archangels, first of all, we've got Archangel Uriel, which is illumination, the light of God, clear sight. This is the light of truth, wisdom, decision-making, resolving conflicts. That's wonderful because we've got the 5 of Wands here, which is fighting and bickering and bitching and conflict. And now we have Archangel Uriel coming in. They're telling me if you would like to Google prayers for the archangels, and if you find one for Archangel Uriel, then ask for help resolving conflicts. There's also awakening here, intellect and guidance. Archangel Uriel means the light of God. We also have Archangel Gabriel, the Annunciator. The Annunciation, clarity of divine purpose, intercession and miracles, direction, companionship, an escort through the underworld. Any dark night of the soul, any dark time that we're going through can be seen as being having to go through a portion of the underworld. So definitely find a prayer to Archangel Gabriel. He blows the trumpet of the rapture, and ask for guidance. Ask for guidance through this underworld kind of energy. He is it says strength of God. Okay, we've got male family member, female family member. We've got tons of ancestors around us. We've got 2 archangels here. Tree energy, as above, so below. ground, reconnect with the earth, reach up and down. Okay. What was I saying about how we sometimes using symbolism of gardening and how we come through and we check on the soil and we check on the bugs and we check on how, how our growing is progressing. When we reach down in the roots and are strong in our feet, we can reach higher with our hands. Okay. I didn't see these. Nine of Pentacles upright. Awesome. Self made prosperity, abundance, and stability and independence. Yes. Neptune energy. Let's check real quick where Neptune is right now. Oh, it is in Pisces, actually. Yeah, Neptune and Saturn are conjunct in Pisces right now. So, what this means is Saturn is the taskmaster, the god of time. He is the reaper. Whereas Venus is just went through Pisces. Venus represents Libra, the scales of justice. She's gone through and weighed everybody's karma. This has to do with Pisces energy, which is reconnecting with Source by reconnecting with other people on a deeper, more spiritual level. So we are going through a very rough time in our spiritual connection to ourselves and each other. Venus came through with her scales of justice and tallied up the karma. Now Saturn, an aspect of death, and works in tandem with Venus, whereas Venus weighs the karma, Saturn comes through and delivers it. Okay, he is in conjunct with Neptune, the god of the ocean, the deep emotions, the subconscious, in his home sign of Pisces. So there is heavy karma being dealt out in the area of connecting with our spirituality and each other. This is dreams, imagination, higher intuition, the emotional depths, psychic ability, but also paranoia, delusion, and illusion. We have grasshopper energy here. Situations in the balance require careful handling. What did I just say, talking about Venus and her scales of justice? There are situations in the balance that need to be handled carefully. Where is Venus right now? If she was in Pisces and moved on, I could have sworn she's in Aries now, right? Where are you? Yeah, Venus is there. Okay. It wasn't Mercury, it was Venus. Where is Mercury? Mercury's in Pisces. Okay. So there's that communication. So Venus is moving into Aries right now, bringing in a little bit of balance, a little bit of diplomacy, especially to the energy that Chiron is having on Aries right now. We've got, remember you are spirit, connect, listen, and be still. Then we have the salt ring protection. Okay, there's plenty of salt rituals you can do. You can take a salt bath. There was one I saw very simple where you take a bowl and a half a lemon, cut it into quarters, and dump salt on it with the intent that the salt soaks up the negative energy in your space and brings in positive abundance, productivity, love, clear energy, and things like that. So that could be something you want to think about, doing a quick salt ritual for protection and purification. Finally, we've got the angel number 999. Completion is coming. Remember, I was saying that Mars is still in retrograde, but only for another maybe week and a half. Okay, so the completion of that Mars cycle is coming. Aspects of a situation are coming to an end. Preserve what you can, purge what you need to, and prepare for the new cycle. All right, Aries, that's what I have for you. I'm going to be back in a little while. I may post tomorrow for the freaking, can't believe it worked out this way. I'm doing a love reading with the fairies, and it just so happens it's going to work out where it's going to upload on Valentine's Day. It's all too ooey gooey for me. I'm not good with the love aspect of things, but that's where we're going to be in the next couple days. So thank you for sticking with me. I hope this resonated for you. I hope this was a help to everybody with Aries placements. Until I see you again in the next couple days. Okay, thanks. Bye.